Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you today. I wanted to make a short little video about people ranting about the Authority coming back. I think there's been a couple of good points made about how the WWE using the Authority scored a whole lot of buys on the Survivor Series 2014 pay-per-view. I remember the build-up for Survivor Series. I remember that week. Honestly, it felt like it was going to be a little bit of a dull show. I think that definitely when they did the SmackDown spoiler, when Triple H and the Authority, Stephanie McMahon, said that basically Team Cena, if they lost, were going to be fired. I think basically everybody shut the door on this match, that the Authority had no chance of winning this, that Team Cena was going to have to prevail. I think like me, a lot of people were surprised that it wasn't Cena who was the ultimate survival in there, that they actually put over the fact that Dolph Ziggler has a whole bunch of talent, and they had him and Rollins be the last guys fighting it out on that show. I know that when it came down to it, it was all about Sting making his debut, and it was more about Sting's debut than it was Ziggler pinning Rollins at the end of the day. But I think they are setting the pace for a real good Triple H versus Sting match. I think that's probably your best possible matchup of the guys that they're trying to find a spot for at WrestleMania, with Sting, Undertaker, and Triple H. These guys, if they're going to compete, they need to have the best matches possible, and we don't need these legends, I guess you can say, having a stinker of a match, and finding the best way to use them probably is the best way. I love Triple H. He is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I always say that Triple H and Hulk Hogan are my number one and number two, and if you ask me on a certain day, I might switch them around. Hulk Hogan honestly was my favorite as a kid, and he might not have the best matches of all time, but when I watch those matches, I just get the best feeling in my gut. And Triple H, to me, honestly, is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. Around the time of 1991, 1992, guys like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were catching my eye. How great the wrestling actually was, instead of actually the storylines that were going along with it. And Triple H, when he picked up the ball in 99 and started running with it, I thought that his matches were awesome. And every time I ordered a WWE pay-per-view back in the day, it was to see Triple H in the main event. And if he wasn't in the main event, if he was like in the number 2 match of the night, no matter where it was, I knew I was going to get my money's worth. But Triple H and Stephanie, I think, are two of the best on-screen performers that we've seen in a long time. And the fact that so many people hate them and that they don't want them to be on their TV, I think makes it even better. I think that definitely having true heels that you can believe in is, no matter what they're going to say when they're out there, is you're going to hate them. They went through their time when we knew they were heels, but they were trying to be the right authority, basically, trying to say that matches were going to have no disqualifications, or matches were going to have no outside interference, or things like that. No matter what they said, you didn't believe them. And I think that's 10 times better than have a heel out there that no matter what they say, a guy like Bray Wyatt, no matter what that guy says in his promos, nobody understands what he's talking about. Nobody understands where this is going. You're just playing it week by week, seeing what matches he's in, and trying to put together your own pace on what storyline is going down. That Triple H, that Stephanie, they don't like John Cena. They like the fact that John Cena brings them money. They don't believe in Dolph Ziggler. They love Randy Orton for everything that he was in the past and everything that they think he could be in the future. And they think that Brock Lesnar brings in a ton of pay-per-view and network buys. But I'm a big fan of having them on TV. I'm glad they're back, and I don't see why everybody's hating the fact that they're back after so long. I was really shocked when it happened. But then again, who else are you going to trust to be putting in these big spots on television? You can't say that they haven't been, the biggest spots of last year. One of the biggest shows was definitely WrestleMania. Triple H wrestled against Daniel Bryan, and you couldn't have had that match if they weren't in charge. You had SummerSlam. One of the biggest draws on that show was Brie going against Stephanie in the co-main event there, and then one of the surprise pay-per-view buys of the year. I mean, even with the Survivor Series being free on the network, you had a ton of people buy the actual physical pay-per-view to see what would happen between Team Cena and Team Authority, and that was the only match that was good on that entire show that was worth buying the pay-per-view for, to see what was going down or to see Sting debut. Then again, we didn't really know Sting was going to debut. I don't think people knew that was going to happen until it happened. I can't remember if we knew ahead of time. But in my mind, I'm saying I don't think we knew. But those are the three biggest moments for the WWE in the last year on television, and they were parts of all three. I know 2015, you're going to be kicking off with Daniel Bryan coming back, Roman Reigns going after the Royal Rumble. You got Dolph Ziggler. He's been getting a lot of wins on television as of late. Now you have the Authority coming back. What are they going to do to try and stop this? And you got Brock Lesnar leaving. How is the Authority going to try and cover up the fact that they're losing, the big guy? I'm still waiting for the payoff for basically Triple H shaking Paul Heyman's hand. I said at the time that was Triple H, making a deal with the devil, and I want to see how that pays off. So we'll see how that goes down in 2015 with the Authority in charge.